thing and how that's working on your regular duties?
Well, I was doing the special teams coordinator last year, so I dropped that and picked up the co-defensive coordinator. So Wes and I are working hand in hand with it, and obviously Wes is making the calls. As far as my duties go, just having an overall say in what we're doing schematically, whether it be with the front linebackers or the back end, coverage-wise. Helping Wes with the calls. Looking at formations, shifts, personnel, just all that thing I'm getting to put my eyes on and really have a say in. Some of it I was already doing in the box, but now on the practice field, having a little bit more say and having a bigger voice with the players.
Only thing, you're going to be in the box during the games again?
I'm going to stay in the box, yeah.
How has Sherrod come in and kind of immerse himself in the defense?
Sherrod is playing really good, so he is still learning. A lot to learn, but he's really exceeded my expectation with his speed, his coverage ability. I knew he was a physical player, but the way he can cover and his instincts, being able to see things and read offenses is really special. He's going to be a special player.
I mean, now that Tyler has gotten another surgery, do you have any timetable? Do you know that you might not be ready for it?
Well, we're hoping he'll be ready in August to come back. So he's very engaged in our meetings, and he's played so many different positions over the years that he really knows the defense inside and out. So I'm expecting him to make a full recovery and be ready to go when we start summer practice.
So even though he's now out there, do you feel like he's helping some of the young guys?
I do, absolutely. He's helping himself because he's on the front row. He's answering questions. He's not looking to go to the training room and miss what's going on in the meeting room. He's getting his work done, his rehab done. Of course, he had surgery last week, but he's going to be just fine.
As far as that roster of safeties goes, this got to be the most physically similar group you've ever had?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of continuity back there, and I feel like we've got a lot of guys that know what to do. We've got a lot of stuff in right now, and I feel like, all the way down to even some of our walk-on players there, they have a pretty good understanding of it. My goal coming in for the safeties was, to cross-train, be able to play both strong and free, the nickel, with Nakuba to be able to play some corner, some nickel, and some strong, and we've been able to do that, and the guys are really picking up on it.
And Jalen Smith,
Jalen Phillips,
his progression over last
JP's been incredible. He's been, he stepped in. I feel like he's got a lot more confidence. He's a lot more seasoned right now. He's played a lot. He started in several games, and he's really embraced his role. And what he did in the Cheez-It Bowl, he was fantastic. Had a great game. I think he had two pass breakups, had a few big hits in that game, and then he's come out this spring and really emerged as a leader of that group, and just eager and hungry to learn and get better. So, I think his coverage skills have gotten a lot better too.
You mentioned Nakuba. Has he been able to take his game to the next level so far from what you've seen from him?
Oh, definitely. Nakuba's a special player, and he's doing it at 3 different positions and picking up on it. He's just get all that knowledge. All that's going to do is just help him and help us, to get more speed on the field at times when we need to. But he's definitely improved a ton.
Speaking of the Cheez-It Bowl, did it help that you guys had that time together instead of just coming in cold in the spring and saying, "Hey, we're the new DCs"?
There's no question about it. You get that thrown on you, and which is fantastic. That's exactly what you want in this business. You want that opportunity, and Wes and I worked really well together. We worked really well together. Even when he was an analyst, the guy's brilliant and does a great job. But not only that, he's very humble, and But yes, to answer your question, going through a whole, we went through the 2 weeks of preparation and getting ready and getting in front of the guys and gaining their confidence and gaining their trust, because we played really good defense, efficiency-wise, better than we played all year last year.
So now that you've had this part of the spring, you had the day of scrimmage, is the defense where you guys want it to be?
Well, it's never where you want it to be. You always want it to get better and better and better. But we're playing at a high level right now in the scrimmages. We started off the scrimmage today with a with a pick six by Nate Wiggins. And then we turn around and Toriano Pride picks one off and runs it back for a touchdown. And that's kind of been what we've been wanting to see. Is we've been getting a lot of turnovers with strips and poking the ball out. You know, that's been an emphasis for us. But to come out and get the interceptions, that was something we were putting a lot of emphasis on. Hey, we want to get the ball in the air, right? Let's go get the ball, which means we got to do better in our one-on-one drills. So it tells me we're improving in our man-to-man periods. And then when you put 11 on 11 out there, that shows up. So, you know, that's been good to see coverage-wise. And then, you know, up front, we're doing it without Brian Brzee and Trey Williams right now. Those guys, those defensive linemen are getting opportunity, and they're really stepping up. And, you know, we're doing well. You know, same thing in all positions, really.
What's a realistic expectation for you guys as a defense as a whole for this coming season?
I mean, it's to be, you know, obviously it's to be the best ever. I mean, that's what you want here at Clemson, right? I mean, it's, you know, best is the standard. So I mean, we want to have the best defense we've ever had, but we got a lot of work to do, you know, to reach that goal. But we've got the tools to do it.
Thad Turkson told me one time every national championship team he's been a part of had a dominant defensive line. That was the common denominator.
Right.
Will you have a national championship caliber defensive line?
There's no question. Our defensive line is fantastic, and you know, as long as they put in the work from now until the time we start, the work that needs to be done, and you know, we don't go reading our press clippings. You know, we got a chance. You know, but you got to put the work in. You know, when you go back to that 2018 defensive line, those guys were different. They were special, and they had great leadership. And this defensive line has that same thing about them. They have that same characteristic about them. So, and they got a lot of experience too.
Going back to the cross training we discussed about earlier with Nakua, what do you see when you bring Barrett Carter back to the safety position? Does he come back there for you, and does he play him back there? Yeah, and play him back there.
Yeah, he has. Yes, I mean, he's a guy that can play multiple positions, especially on early downs. You know, he can do that. But that's kind of where that nickel position, the nickel Sam position, has come to. I mean, it's become a space game. You got to have guys that can play that space, but he's unique because he can cover guys, but he can get in the box and be physical with guys too. He's got the size, the speed, and agility to do it.
Last week, Nolan went out there and showed out on Pro Day. What do you think an NFL team are going to get if he gets that opportunity?
I think they're going to be shocked. I think they're going to be shocked at how good he is. I mean, the guy's a baller, and he has been since the day he stepped on the field here. He's more athletic than anybody gives him credit for. A 37.5-inch vertical jump is unbelievable. And then you go turn in 4.40. But they're going to get a smart player, you know, which is probably what they think they're getting. I'm getting a smart player, but they're going to get the athleticism that they don't expect. The guy has incredible hips, the way he can swivel his hips and the way he moves. I mean, he just kind of glides across the field. And he's got great instincts. He's going to spend the time in the film room. And he's going to understand offenses. He's going to understand routes. He's going to understand reads. And, I mean, somebody's going to get a really good player out.
Do you think he can, I know it's a $1 million question, but do you think he can get drafted maybe day 3 maybe?
Yeah, I think definitely can get drafted, you know. I mean, he just needs to get a chance. And we've had guys from Clemson have not been drafted that's gotten opportunities, and they're making millions of dollars right now as free agents. So, I mean, if somebody doesn't draft him, then he just needs a chance. But, I mean, if I'm an NFL team, I'd draft that dude all day. He's a baller.
What is something he did in practice or whatever that kind of just, when you look back at his career, that really kind of stood out to you to say this guy's got something special?
I think just the way he moves, just in general, and then being able to put him. I've been talking about playing multiple spots on defense, just to be able to move him. I think, you know, one game he'd start at nickel, one game he'd start at free safety, one game he'd start at strong safety, and to go in there and then be able to play. But I think that the first play against, or not the first play, but against Louisville down there in the red zone, what's that quarterback?
Cunningham.
Jackson.
No, Jackson. Yeah, Jackson breaks loose and he tackles him in open field and keeps him out of the end zone. And when I saw that, I was like, that guy, special. Right there. So,
somebody walking out today looked at me and said, defense is great, bend but don't break most of the time. Is that kind of an apt description of what you saw out there today?
I don't know. I thought we looked pretty good. I didn't see a lot of bending. we scored 2 defensive touchdowns. So we got a 3 and out to start with. We got a pick 6 on the next drive. Then we got another pick 6 on the next drive.
Sure.
I'd say that's pretty aggressive. Had a 2-minute stop, but they didn't even get a field goal out of it with our first group. The only disappointing thing would have been probably on the 4-yard line. We let them score on a little crush route where we had a bust. That's fixable. It wasn't a lack of effort or anything like that. So I wouldn't say we've been a whole lot.
So Wes has said he's going to simplify things, or you guys are going to simplify things. Not make it a simple defense, but make this defense play faster. Have you seen that, and have you seen it out here?
Absolutely, and I think part of that is as we do our. I mean, we're still gonna have the same stuff.
Sure.
But as we do the install, we're focusing a little bit longer and shorter on the day. So I mean, we're making the install a little bit shorter per day. But I mean, you get to the end of the spring, we got, and you check it with last spring, we're about the same. We're about at the same spot. We've just spent more time on the front end, learning it, perfecting it, trying to master, the different nuances of the scheme.
You're replacing 2 potentially first-round draft cornerbacks, going in this year. What are you seeing out of Sheridan and the guys out there so far?
Well, Sheridan is, before he got hurt a little bit, he was fantastic, and he'll be back. So just his knowledge and him making plays on the front end's been great. And then Nate Wiggins, if you were able to watch the scrimmage today, he was as good as anybody that we've had since I've been here. I mean, he probably had 3 PBUs, 4 PBUs today, and a pick 6, and he was all over the place.
Dabo has said with Nate, it's more like polishing him up.
Yeah, no doubt. He just keep learning the defense. I mean, he's still a young player, still learning what to do, but he's got a great skill set, he's got great length, speed, change of direction, and he's got a good feel for the game.
What about the other freshman guys, Toriano and
Toriano's been great. He's playing really well, making play. He had the other pick 6 today. On that 3rd drive. Toriano's been great. I think the thing I've been impressed with him is how much football knowledge he has. He understands leverage, and he understands, what offenses are trying to attack with. So, and then Lucas is going to be great too. His athleticism is
size.
Yeah, he's huge. He's tall and long, but he can jump and run and do all those things. So it's exciting.
3 practices in the spring. What do you want to see? Maybe it's 4 practices, but a few, and then the spring. What do you want to see here at the end?
Well, I'd like to see us continue to improve. Coverage-wise, continue to get better. With our keys and reads. Just continue the cohesiveness. And just keep building confidence. I think that's the main thing. Guys just need to be confident what they're doing, play fast.
Yeah, that question. That question, communication level, between staff to the team on the field when you got doing scrimmage stuff. Have you gotten since the bowl game to now? Have you got to a point now where you feel like that snaps on, just goes? And
the communication has been great. It's been great with the staff. It's been good with the players too. You can always improve the communication, especially with young players, and what I want them to be confident in the communication. Confidence comes from knowledge. So the more they know and the more they can learn and retain, the faster they can play and the better they can communicate. And, with knowledge comes confidence. With confidence comes that communication that you want.
That's what leadership last year. You lost a lot of leadership back there. Nolan was back there. Who's that guy back there now this year?
Well, I mean, JP's been a great leader for us back there. Tyler Venables, I know he's not out there on the field right now, but his leadership in the meeting rooms and off the field has been great. And then R.J. Mickens has shown some leadership. Nakuba has shown some leadership. I mean, all these guys are. Landon Sanders is doing a lot of good things right now. I know he can't go full speed, but he's playing really fast. So excited about what he brings to the table. But all of them are trying to be leaders.
We'll take one last one for Coach feedback.
Where's Landon from just a health standpoint right now?
He's in great shape. He's in great shape and probably could go, but let's not take the chance right now. Let's get him a little bit stronger, get him to August and ready to go. But he's taking thud reps. He's just not taking anybody to the ground. So he's doing really well.
Let's see some baseball.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you.